everywhere. It's absolutely buzzing, isn't it? Every other headline, it seems, screams about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, AI this, AI that, job losses.
Or entire industries just vanishing. And let's be honest, for many of us, the central kind of anxiety-inducing question is, will AI steal my job?
It's the big one. Easy to get lost in that noise.
Totally. To feel overwhelmed by just the sheer pace of change. But here on The Deep Dive, we're taking you far beyond that simple question today. Our mission, really, is to unpack the profound, the intricate impact of AI on work, yes, but also on our very identity, and maybe even the fundamental fabric of human existence itself.
That's huge.
We've sifted through, well, a veritable mountain of curated articles, research papers, some surprising insights, too, all to bring you the clearest, most essential knowledge.
Cutting through the hype.
Exactly. Think of this as your shortcut to being truly well-informed on one of those transformative topics of our time without, drowning in the data stream.
Precisely. And what we're embarking on today isn't just a surface-level overview. It's a true exploration into an incredibly complex, multifaceted topic.
Right.
By synthesizing these diverse sources, this deep dive aims to provide crucial insights, connect the dots between what might seem like disparate ideas.
Yeah, bringing it all together.
And ultimately offer you a truly nuanced understanding of AI's astonishing reach. Our goal is to move past the sensational headlines and deliver those genuine aha moments.
Love those.
Arming you with actionable knowledge that helps you not only understand, but actually navigate the often overwhelming information surrounding AI and its ever-unfolding societal implications.
So you walk away with a richer perspective.
Exactly. The big picture.
Okay, let's unpack this right from the beginning then. Because this fear of being replaced by machines, it isn't some brand new anxiety born from ChatGPT or something.
No, not at all. It goes way back.
In fact, if we cast our minds back, way back to the late 18th century, we find the very genesis of what we now call automation anxiety. Right there at the dawn of the first industrial revolution. Imagine yourself, right? A skilled textile worker in, say, 1764. You've spent years perfecting your craft. Your whole livelihood depends on your nimble fingers, your deep understanding of the loom.
It's your identity, your skill.
Exactly. Your community, your very sense of self. It's all tied to this work. Then, along comes James Hargreaves with his revolutionary invention, the spinning jenny. And this wasn't just a slight improvement. This was a machine that could spin multiple spools of thread simultaneously. Suddenly, one person with one machine could do the work of 8, maybe even 16 traditional spinners.
The scale of it was terrifying for them.
The fear among textile workers wasn't just abstract, it was this visceral dread for their very livelihoods. And it sparked immense social unrest.
Indeed, and that immense anxiety, it didn't just dissipate, it sort of coalesced into what became one of history's most vivid examples of resistance to technological change. The Luddite movement.
Right, the Luddites. Active primarily between, 1811 and 1816?
That's right. And these weren't, uneducated or unskilled laborers smashing things randomly. On the contrary.
No, they were skilled?
Highly skilled artisans, stocking frame knitters, croppers, weavers, whose craft was systematically being devalued, threatened by these new mechanized looms and frames.
So they saw their whole world crumbling.
Exactly. In a desperate attempt to protect their jobs, their communities, their very way of life, they resorted to destroying the machinery they saw as the embodiment of this threat.
Understandable, in a way.
The Luddite movement serves as this powerful, almost prophetic, historical precedent. What's truly fascinating here is how history often, as you say, rhymes. The fundamental human reactions to such profound disruption, the fear of obsolescence, the resistance to change, the sense of losing control over one's destiny, they remain strikingly similar across centuries.
Whether it's a loom or an algorithm?
Precisely. Whether the threat is an automated loom or a sophisticated AI algorithm. Understanding the Luddites gives us a crucial, almost empathetic lens through which to view our current anxieties about AI. It's not just about economics, it's about, human nature.
Absolutely. It's not some singular historical blip, is it? It's a recurring theme woven throughout the fabric of modern history. Let's take a quick, but I think impactful trip through a timeline of these major technological disruptions.
Good idea. Context is key.
And their profound impact on labor, noting how each wave kind of built upon the last. So from that period, 1764 right up to about 1840, we had the first industrial revolution.
Steam power mechanization.
Right. This era was defined by mechanized manufacturing, powered by steam, forever transforming everything from agriculture to those small cottage industries. It shifted populations from rural farms to these burgeoning factory towns,
Creating masses of factory workers.
but displacing countless independent artisans in the process.
Then, roughly from 1870 to 1914, we plunge into the Second Industrial Revolution. This was the age of electricity, the internal combustion engine.
And mass production, the assembly line.
Exactly. Mass production, particularly exemplified by the assembly line. Think of Henry Ford's factories, right? Where specialized repetitive tasks became the norm. It boosted output massively.
But also deskilled many crafts.
Deskilled many crafts and standardized labor in a whole new way.
Okay, fast forward now to the mid-20th century, roughly the 1940s through the 1970s. This was when early computers, these enormous mainframes at first, started creeping into the workforce.
The first wave of office automation.
Exactly. This was the era where we began to see significant shifts in clerical jobs. Imagine those rooms full of typists and filing clerks. Suddenly, machines could automate routine administrative tasks.
Payroll, inventory.
Payroll processing, inventory management, data organization. It was maybe a quieter revolution than the steam engine, but it dramatically reshaped office work.
Then by the 1990s, we were in the throes of the internet revolution.
Ah, yes. Dial-up sounds.
Maybe. But it introduced automation to a much broader range of services. E-commerce platforms began to displace physical retail, digital communication streamlined processes.
Entire industries felt it.
Oh yeah, travel agencies, bookstores, music stores, they all faced existential challenges. It wasn't just about manufacturing efficiency anymore. It was about information flow and service delivery.
And now, from the 2010s to the present day, we are squarely in the era of AI and machine learning.
The cognitive revolution, perhaps.
You could say that. This wave is witnessing the rapid rise of algorithms that are replacing not just physical, repetitive labor, but increasingly sophisticated cognitive tasks.
What's truly fascinating here is the accelerating pace of disruption you just outlined. Each subsequent wave of technological advancement seems to arrive more quickly, impacting a broader range of tasks, and at an ever-increasing scale.
It feels faster, doesn't it?
It is faster. Initially, automation primarily tackled physical tasks, the repetitive motions on assembly lines or the heavy lifting in factories. But with AI, we're observing this dramatic shift towards the automation of cognitive tasks.
The thinking work.
The very mental processes like analysis, pattern recognition, even creativity, things many believed were uniquely human.
Yeah.
Now, while each of these historical waves was undeniably disruptive, they also consistently led to the creation of new forms of work, new industries, new job categories that were, frankly, unimaginable before.
Like web designers in the 90s?
Exactly, or data scientists today. This historical pattern sets up a key question for our deep dive into AI's future. Will this time be different? Or will new opportunities emerge, perhaps in entirely new ways as they have before? That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it?
And speaking of hidden historical gems, here's a truly surprising fact, I think, that many people don't know. A little-known precursor to today's AI-assisted work that shows this human-machine collaboration isn't new at all.
Oh, do tell.
During World War II, at the top-secret Bletchley Park in the UK.
Ah, the code breakers.
Exactly. British women were working on the Colossus computer. This wasn't just about punching buttons. These women became essentially the first algorithmic operators.
Algorithmic operators, I like that.
They were deeply involved in the problem-solving, using these early machines to decrypt complex Nazi messages, specifically the Lorenz cipher, which was even more complex than Enigma.
Wow.
They weren't just data entry clerks, they were actively interpreting the machine's output, feeding new insights back into the system, collaborating with this nascent computational power to solve incredibly difficult, high-stakes intelligence problems.
So it was a partnership.
A true partnership. It's a powerful, often overlooked story about the real origins of human-machine collaboration in solving some of humanity's biggest challenges.
That's a crucial point to highlight. Because the significance of this early human-machine collaboration at Bletchley Park demonstrates that the integration of algorithms into complex problem-solving has roots far deeper and far more collaborative than many might realize.
Right. Not just machine replaces human.
No. It wasn't just about the machine doing the work. It was about human ingenuity, analytical thinking, contextual understanding combined with nascent computational power. This partnership allowed them to achieve what neither could do alone.
Augmentation, essentially.
Shows that the concept of augmentation, where technology doesn't just replace but extends and enhances human capabilities, isn't a new phenomena. It's been evolving for decades. It sets a historical precedent for how we might approach AI today. Not as a pure substitute, maybe, but as a potentially powerful partner.
So as we move from these historical echoes into the present, let's shift our focus. Let's move from the broad economics and history to the profound personal impact. Because what does all this mean for you, the listener, beyond just the bottom line of your bank account?
The human cost.
Exactly. We often talk about jobs solely in terms of income, but work fulfills so much more than just our basic financial survival. If we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, for instance.
Maslow. Good framework.
Employment isn't just critical for physiological needs like food and shelter or safety needs, financial security. It's also foundational for much higher level needs.
Belonging, esteem.
It provides a sense of belonging through colleagues, professional networks. It's a primary source of esteem, giving us a sense of accomplishment, recognition, competence. And for many, work is a direct path to self-actualization.
Finding meaning.
Allowing us to pursue passions, develop skills, contribute meaningfully. Our jobs often define our social status, our daily routine, our sense of purpose, and even our personal identity.
You're hitting on a really critical psychological dimension here. In this context, the concept of existential anxiety becomes highly relevant.
Existential anxiety, tell me more.
It's a term from existential psychology, and it basically posits that when automation threatens jobs, people aren't just fearing losing income, as you said. They're grappling with something far deeper.
Oh, okay.
They fear becoming obsolete, losing their very identity, their sense of purpose. Imagine a skilled craftsman whose trade becomes automated.
Yeah.
It's not just the paycheck.
It's everything.
It's the loss of generations of knowledge, the pride in their unique skill, the community built around that craft. For many, work isn't merely a means to an end. It's intricately woven into who they are, how they see themselves, how they contribute.
So the resistance isn't just stubbornness.
Not always. The aha moment here is realizing that resistance to AI isn't always just about economics. It's often a profound struggle to hold on to who we believe ourselves to be. It's an identity crisis on a societal scale.
Wow.
This raises an important question, doesn't it? How deeply intertwined are our identities with our work? And what happens when that primary source of identity is potentially eroded or radically redefined by technology like AI?
And it's not just about the individual psyche, right? This fear, this potential displacement, it ripples out. It has broader societal implications.
Definitely. Systemic effects.
AI, if we're not careful, has the potential to widen class divisions, not just economically, but maybe fundamentally. We've long talked about the digital divide.
Access to computers, internet.
Right. Historically, it was about who has access to the technology. But with AI, that divide deepens dramatically. It's now less about just having the tools.
And more about control.
And more about who controls the technology, who benefits from its advancements, and crucially, who possesses the new in-demand skills to actually participate in this evolving economy. We could be looking at a much more profound stratification.
Like two tiers.
Those who design, manage, and benefit from AI, and those whose labor is made redundant without clear pathways to new opportunities.
That's precisely where Pierre Bourdieu's concept of cultural capital becomes incredibly insightful.
Bourdieu. Okay, explain cultural capital in this context.
Bourdieu argued that certain non-financial assets, things like formal education, intellectual skills, even a particular way of speaking, social networks provide a distinct advantage in society, often just as much as financial capital.
So it's not just money.
Not just money. In the context of AI, those individuals with access to high-quality education focused on critical thinking, adaptability, those with strong professional networks offering early insights, those with the resources, be it time, money, or cognitive flexibility, to adapt quickly.
They're better positioned.
Inherently better positioned to navigate these technological shifts. And this inevitably increases societal stratification.
Widens the gap.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it suggests AI could really exacerbate existing inequalities, creating an even wider chasm between those who possess the right kind of cultural capital to adapt and thrive and those who don't. Potentially leading to what some fear could be a two-tiered society of AI haves and have-nots, a fundamental division based on one's ability to ride this tech wave.
And as a direct result of these anxieties, these potential divisions, we're already seeing some very observable human reactions, behavioral patterns playing out in the workplace, in society.
Yeah, defense mechanisms kick in.
One clear pattern is status preservation. This is where workers actively resist changes that might diminish their current relevance or position within an organization or industry.
Holding on to what they know.
It's not always malicious, right? It's often a deep-seated desire to maintain their sense of value, their expertise. Think of an experienced professional clinging to old methods, even when new AI tools could make their work more efficient.
Because the tools undermine their specific knowledge.
Exactly, the knowledge they've spent a whole career building.
Right. And alongside that, you often see skill hoarding, which is a more defensive, almost panicked response.
Skill hoarding, like collecting degrees.
Sort of. Anxious workers frantically accumulate credentials, certifications, new skills, often driven by a fear of obsolescence rather than genuine interest or strategic career planning.
Just trying to stay relevant.
They might pursue every new AI course or certificate, hoping to make themselves indispensable, even if the practical application isn't immediately clear. It's like frantically collecting badges, hoping one of them will be the magic key to future job security.
Understandable, but maybe not strategic.
Maybe not.
And finally, on a broader societal level, we see the emergence of these two highly polarized mindsets, don't we? Techno-optimism versus techno-paranoia.
The two extremes.
These two views largely divide public opinion on AI's role, creating a sometimes, toxic debate rather than a productive discussion. The optimists, they see only the boundless potential.
Efficiency, progress, solving everything.
Exactly, solving humanity's greatest challenges. They often dismiss concerns as just Luddite-esque fear-mongering.
While on the other side, those prone to techno-paranoia emphasize the existential threats, the job apocalypse, algorithmic control.
Skynet is coming.
Basically. Often overlooking AI's constructive applications and its potential for augmentation. These polarized viewpoints contribute significantly to the complex and often contentious societal debate around AI.
Makes it hard to move forward.
It makes it difficult to forge a cohesive path forward. They prevent the nuanced, thoughtful conversations we desperately need about how to harness AI's power while mitigating its risks. It's a battle of narratives that makes true policy-making incredibly challenging.
So let's bring our discussion right into the present then. What's actually happening in the world of AI right now? Because the capabilities are truly astounding and frankly, quite surprising sometimes.
Things are moving fast.
We're seeing generative AI tools like OpenAI's GPT models for text, DALE or Midjourney for images, tools composing music, demonstrating a capacity that, few predicted even a few years ago.
That burst onto the scene.
It's no longer just automating repetitive physical tasks. It's now capable of replacing or significantly assisting tasks traditionally done by creative professionals.
Designers, writers.
Graphic designers creating logos, writers drafting marketing copy, even coders generating lines of code from natural language prompts. Here's where it gets really interesting.
The unexpected reach.
The unexpected reach of modern AI means that jobs once thought to be exclusively human, requiring intuition, abstract reasoning, artistic creativity, are now being partially or entirely automated. This is a significant fundamental shift from earlier waves of automation.
Which mostly hit manual labor or routine clerical work.
Exactly.
And this rapid shift is not going unnoticed by major corporations. In fact, they're actively driving it in many ways. We're seeing this growing trend of AI reskilling programs.
Companies trying to get ahead of it.
Being initiated by huge companies like Amazon, Google, IBM.
Yeah.
Amazon, for instance, committed hundreds of millions of dollars to upskill its workforce, teaching employees how to work with AI, not necessarily against it.
Collaboration, not replacement.
That's the goal, seemingly. This signals a very significant systemic shift towards a future where human-AI collaboration isn't just an idea, but maybe a mandatory reality in the workplace. These programs are designed to equip employees with skills in data analysis, prompt engineering, ethical AI oversight.
The new jobs emerging around AI.
Skilled to manage and leverage AI tools rather than be replaced by them. Now, additionally, a more concerning trend we're observing is what's being termed digital Taylorism.
Digital Taylorism, like Frederick Taylor, scientific management.
Exactly like that, but for the digital age. This refers to how modern workplaces are using AI to track and optimize productivity, echoing those early 20th century methods.
How does that look today?
Today, it looks like AI analyzing your keystrokes, your mouse movements, your tone in emails to gauge stress levels, maybe even predicting your likelihood of leaving based on communication patterns.
Wow, that's invasive.
For call center workers, AI might analyze every word for compliance or dictate optimal pause times. While it seems efficient on paper,
It feels very controlling.
it fundamentally shifts control from human intuition and autonomy to algorithmic supervision. It can potentially turn every interaction into a measurable task, eroding personal space, fostering intense pressure, and raising serious privacy concerns.
Constant surveillance.
It's like a modern iteration of the assembly line,
Yeah.
but for cognitive work.
It's no wonder, then, that popular culture is grappling so intensely with these changes, trying to make sense of a future that feels both exciting and, well, unsettling.
Art reflecting anxiety.
You can see AI-driven futures explored in chilling detail in TV shows like Black Mirror, which often highlight the dystopian potential.
Definitely leans dystopian.
Or in more emotionally nuanced films like Her, which delves into the profound emotional and ethical implications of our relationships with sentient AI.
Yeah, the human connection aspect.
And beyond the dramatic portrayals, AI is already making its mark in real-world creative industries. In music, AI can generate melodies, craft lyrics, produce entire tracks.
Sometimes indistinguishable from human work.
Sometimes even outperforming human artists in terms of virality or market appeal on platforms like TikTok. In fashion, algorithms are designing patterns, predicting trends with uncanny accuracy, creating virtual models.
It really throws a wrench into our traditional notions of creativity, authorship, and value, doesn't it?
Completely.
And this cultural grappling is a direct reflection of the profound societal questions AI poses. Naturally, it extends to the political and regulatory landscape. Governments, international bodies, they're scrambling to catch up.
Trying to put guardrails up.
Consider the EU AI Act, which recently passed, a landmark piece of legislation. It aims to regulate AI by imposing strict rules on high-risk AI applications, things used in critical infrastructure, employment, law enforcement.
Demanding transparency, oversight.
Transparency, human oversight, accountability. Similarly, ongoing discussions at the World Economic Forum are increasingly focused on global governance for AI ethical guidelines, international standards, trying to prevent a fragmented regulatory environment.
So there's political will growing.
There's growing political will to regulate this powerful technology, recognizing its widespread impact. However, and this is the big however.
Can they keep up?
Exactly. This raises an important question.
Yeah.
Can legislative progress truly keep pace with the exponential and rapid evolution of AI technology? The speed at which AI capabilities are developing often leaves lawmakers in a constant state of catch-up, trying to put guardrails on a technology that is still very much in flux.
Okay, let's take a moment now to clear the air. Let's bust some common myths about AI and work, because these misconceptions really fuel a lot of the public anxiety, I think, and prevent us from having a clear-eyed discussion.
Good idea. Myth-busting time.
The first big one you hear constantly is, AI will take all jobs.
The robot apocalypse narrative.
Right, this is a huge oversimplification that often leads to panic. The reality, as we've discussed, is that AI reshapes more than it entirely replaces jobs.
It automates tasks within jobs.
Exactly. It automates specific tasks, leading to new roles emerging or requiring humans to work differently, maybe in collaboration with AI. It doesn't necessarily wipe out entire employment sectors wholesale, but rather transforms them.
Like spreadsheets didn't eliminate accountants.
Perfect example. They changed what accountants do. More analysis, less calculation.
That's correct. It's transformation, not total annihilation. Another prevalent myth, often used maybe to reassure certain segments of the workforce, is that only low-skilled jobs are at risk.
Right, the idea that your fancy degree protects you.
That's fundamentally misleading. While some manual repetitive tasks are indeed vulnerable, the surprising truth, as we touched on earlier, is that many white-collar jobs are actually more susceptible to AI automation.
Why is that?
Because many professional roles involve highly repeatable cognitive tasks. Think reviewing contracts, performing detailed legal research, drafting routine reports, analyzing vast data sets. These are tasks that AI excels at.
Speed, accuracy, pattern recognition.
Exactly. So if your job primarily involves predictable cognitive tasks, regardless of the perceived skill level, it's likely to be impacted in some way. And finally, the myth that AI is neutral is perhaps the most insidious and dangerous one.
Ah, the unbiased machine idea.
AI systems are not impartial, objective entities. They are trained on vast data sets that reflect existing human biases, societal stereotypes, historical inequalities.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Essentially. For example, if an AI is trained on historical hiring data, where certain demographics were underrepresented or unfairly treated, the AI can learn and perpetuate those biases in future hiring recommendations.
So it bakes in the prejudice.
Or if a facial recognition AI is trained predominantly on lighter skin tones, it might perform poorly and lead to misidentifications for people with darker skin. They learn from the data, flaws and all, As a result, they can inadvertently reinforce or even amplify discrimination.
In hiring, lending, even criminal justice?
Absolutely. Understanding this inherent bias is critical for responsible ethical development and for applying a critical eye to AI's outputs. It's not magic. It reflects us.
And if we dig a little deeper beyond these common myths, we start to uncover some truly fascinating contradictions, maybe even ironies, in the current AI landscape, especially among those right at the forefront.
The big names, the tech leaders.
Take Elon Musk, for instance. He's a very vocal figure, often issuing these stark warnings against the existential dangers of AI, painting a picture of a bleak, potentially apocalyptic future if it's unchecked.
Calls it summoning the demon.
Right. He's called it humanity's biggest threat. Yet at the very same time, he's actively profiting from cutting-edge AI ventures through his companies.
Tesla's self-driving cars, Neuralink.
Exactly. Tesla relies on incredibly advanced AI. Neuralink is developing brain-machine interfaces fundamentally about AI interacting with human cognition. It's a stark irony, isn't it? Warning about the demon while simultaneously building and unleashing powerful new versions of it.
It truly is a compelling paradox, and it highlights the complex ethical and economic motivations at play. Such figures often present themselves as cautionary voices, perhaps to shape public opinion or regulation in their favor,
while still pushing the boundaries.
while simultaneously pushing the boundaries of AI development for commercial gain and competitive advantage.
Yeah.
Similarly, we see governments worldwide investing heavily in AI automation,
For efficiency defense.
leveraging it for increased efficiency in public services, defense, administration optimizing traffic flow, analyzing intelligence data. Yet, in their public discourse, these same governments often promote job security, stability.
Reassuring citizens their jobs are safe.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is this double-edged sword of AI development. On one hand, it promises efficiency, growth, progress. But on the other, it creates potential for social disruption and job displacement that requires careful navigation, often leading to these apparent hypocrisies as they try to balance competing priorities.
Beyond the obvious headlines and the public figures, there are some rarely discussed, yet I think profoundly significant, aspects of AI's impact on labor that really deserve our attention.
The hidden impacts.
One such area, which might surprise you, is the automation of emotional labor.
Emotional labor. Interesting. How so?
This is something we don't often consider, but AI is quietly reshaping human intimacy, care industries, even our most personal experiences. Think about the emergence of AI therapists offering mental health support through chatbots.
Accessible maybe, but impersonal.
Providing accessible, though potentially impersonal counseling. Consider grief bots, AI companions designed to help people process loss by simulating conversations with deceased loved ones.
Wow, grief bots. That's heavy.
Or social companion robots being developed for the elderly or those experiencing loneliness. These tools are performing tasks that were once exclusively the domain of nuanced human connection, empathy, emotional intelligence.
Filling a void, maybe?
They fill a void, yes, but at what potential cost to genuine human interaction and the nature of care itself? It's a complex ethical question.
And that's just one side of the coin. The other rarely discussed aspect, and perhaps more ethically fraught, is what we call shadow AI labor.
Shadow AI labor, what's that?
This refers to the often invisible, frequently exploitive human labor that underpins AI training. While AI systems are presented as increasingly autonomous,
The magic behind the curtain.
they rely heavily on vast armies of human click workers or data annotators, often in countries like Kenya, the Philippines, India,
Doing what kinds of tasks?
performing incredibly tedious, low-paid tasks, tagging millions of images to teach a self-driving car to recognize a stop sign, transcribing hours of audio to train a voice assistant, labeling data to improve a content moderation algorithm.
The human gears in the AI machine.
They are the ghost in the machine, the human intelligence that makes artificial intelligence possible. This highlights the uncomfortable truth that even for seemingly autonomous AI, there's often a significant, often underpaid and precarious human in the loop.
Exploitation concerns.
Huge ethical concerns.
Yeah.
This human labor is frequently exploited: long hours, meager wages, no benefits, no job security. It underscores the true human cost associated with these hidden aspects of AI's societal footprint that many of us never even consider. It's like the digital sweatshop powering the gleaming AI future.
Moving beyond the immediate realities then, let's explore how some of the leading thinkers are weighing in on AI's future. There's a spectrum of views, of course, but some mainstream expert opinions offer powerful frameworks.
Different visions of tomorrow.
For example, Erik Brynjolfsson, an economist at MIT, he's a prominent voice advocating for augmentation over pure replacement.
Humans plus AI.
His core argument, based on extensive research, is that while AI will automate many tasks, it won't necessarily eliminate entire jobs. Instead, humans and AI will increasingly co-create new jobs. AI handles the repetitive, data-heavy stuff.
And humans focus on creativity, strategy, empathy.
Exactly. Creativity, strategic thinking, nuanced judgment, interpersonal skills. It's a vision of synergy where AI makes human workers more productive and effective rather than rendering them obsolete. Cautious optimism.
Indeed, Brynjolfsson's perspective offers that path of cautious optimism, focusing on collaboration. In contrast, you have someone like Yuval Noah Harari.
Harari, author of *Sapiens*.
The influential historian. He offers a more sobering warning. He's deeply concerned about the potential emergence of a useless class.
A useless class? That sounds bleak.
His fear is that large segments of the population could become economically redundant, not just unemployed, but truly unneeded by the economy if AI progresses faster than society's ability to reskill its workforce.
If people can't adapt fast enough?
He imagines a scenario where only a highly skilled elite can keep pace, leaving many, many people behind.
Then there's Kai-Fu Lee, a venture capitalist, renowned AI expert, particularly influential in China's AI scene.
Right, big figure in AI investment.
He predicts that a significant portion, a staggering 40 to 50% of jobs, will be automatable by 2045.
40 to 50%? Wow. That's within many of our lifetimes.
Within the next 2 decades, potentially. Half of all current jobs fundamentally reshaped or displaced. However, he also stresses that, like in previous industrial revolutions, new roles will inevitably emerge.
But maybe faster this time.
Perhaps in fields we haven't even conceived of yet, but potentially at a much faster pace of transition. Synthesizing these perspectives, you see this range, don't you?
Yeah.
From optimistic augmentation to warnings of mass redundancy, all contingent on how quickly and effectively societies adapt.
And beyond these widely discussed figures, there are also some incredibly thought-provoking alternative perspectives. Voices that challenge the mainstream narrative push us to consider deeper systemic issues.
Like who?
Take Douglas Rushkoff, a media theorist and author. He suggests a more cynical and, frankly, quite unsettling idea.
Okay.
That the elite aren't just building AI for profit or efficiency, but partly to escape responsibility for systemic labor crises.
Escape responsibility? How?
His argument is that as capitalism naturally creates increasing inequality and job displacement, AI could provide a convenient way for those in power to disconnect from the social and economic consequences. A vision where a small group of haves create highly automated, self-sustaining systems operating independently of a large group of have-nots.
Who become irrelevant.
Increasingly irrelevant, thus neatly sidestepping the moral obligations of shared prosperity. It's a dark view, but provocative.
Rushkoff's viewpoint forces us to consider the underlying motivations, the power dynamics in AI development. Remind us technology isn't neutral, it's shaped by human intentions, interests. It's a critical voice challenging us to look beyond the immediate benefits.
Absolutely. Another fascinating alternative comes from Jaron Lanier.
Lanier, the VR pioneer, critic of Silicon Valley models.
That's him. He advocates for data dignity, proposing a radical idea that people should be paid for the data they generate that trains AI systems.
Paid for our clicks and searches.
In his view, our digital footprint, every click, search, image upload, interaction, is valuable labor. It's the raw material currently fueling trillion-dollar AI models without compensation to the originators of that data.
We're the unpaid workforce.
Lanier argues that if we were to treat this data as micro-labor, where individuals are compensated for contributing to AI's intelligence, it could fundamentally redistribute wealth and power, creating a more equitable digital economy.
That's a radical shift in thinking.
It raises an important question. How do we conceive of value and ownership in an age where our personal information is the indispensable ingredient for advanced AI? These perspectives fundamentally challenge conventional thinking about AI's role, ownership, and ethical responsibilities.
Okay, let's bring these ideas to life. Let's look at some real-world transformations in action. Starting with an industry traditionally seen as highly intellectual, resistant to automation, the legal industry.
Lawyers and algorithms.
A field long reliant on exhaustive research, intricate analysis, meticulous documentation, but AI tools are already making significant inroads. Companies like Do Not Pay,
The robot lawyer.
often dubbed that, yeah. They use AI to help consumers fight parking tickets, cancel subscriptions, contest unfair charges, effectively automating tasks previously handled by paralegals or even junior attorneys.
Streamlining consumer disputes.
And similarly, RSS Intelligence, an AI legal research platform, can sift through thousands of legal documents, precedents, in seconds, providing highly relevant case law and insights far faster than a human researcher could.
Huge efficiency boost for firms.
Dramatically boosts efficiency and speed, but also clearly signals a shift in the nature of entry-level legal work, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, this doesn't necessarily mean mass unemployment for legal professionals. Instead, it signals an evolution of roles within law firms.
Jobs emerging.
We're now seeing the emergence of entirely new job categories, like AI ethicists, crucial for ensuring AI applications in law are fair, unbiased, comply with legal and moral standards. A vital role given the sensitivity.
Especially in law.
And we also see the rise of prompt engineers, individuals skilled at crafting the precise, nuanced queries needed to get the most accurate, useful output from complex AI legal models.
Translators between human and machine.
Exactly. They act as translators between human legal intent and algorithmic capabilities. This demonstrates how AI, while disrupting existing roles, simultaneously creates demand for new, specialized skills and job categories, shifting the focus from rote research to higher-level interpretation and strategy.
The creative economy, surprisingly to many, is another area seeing massive AI transformation. For a long time, these fields, art, music, writing, were thought to be largely immune.
The bastion of human creativity.
Due to their reliance on uniquely human creativity, intuition, emotional expression. But that's no longer the case, is it? Stock image platforms, for instance.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
They're integrating powerful generative AI tools, allowing users to create custom, unique images simply from text prompts describing exactly what they want.
A cat riding a unicorn in space, photorealistic.
And boom, there it is. This directly threatens the livelihoods of traditional photographers, illustrators, graphic designers whose existing work can now be replicated, adapted, or outright replaced by an algorithm in seconds.
Often at a fraction of the cost.
The human artist finds themselves competing with a machine that can churn out endless variations without fatigue or payment. Tough competition.
And it goes even further than that, blurring the lines of what it means to be a creator. Consider the phenomenon of AI-generated influencers.
Like Lil Miquela.
Exactly, like the wildly popular Lil Miquela. She's a virtual character, entirely AI created and rendered, yet she boasts millions of followers across social media.
Real followers, real influence.
She signs real brand deals with major fashion houses, music labels, releases songs, interacts with her fan base, all without ever eating, sleeping, or actually existing.
It's bizarre when you think about it.
These AI entities command massive advertising deals, exert significant cultural influence, challenging our traditional notions of creativity, authenticity, and even what constitutes labor. It prompts us to reconsider where the value lies when the personality is an algorithm, and the content is synthesized, not genuinely experienced or expressed.
And finally, let's look at healthcare, a field where accuracy, precision, human judgment are paramount, where the stakes are literally life or death.
High stakes indeed.
Here, AI diagnostic tools are demonstrating incredible capabilities, moving beyond mere data processing. For example, Google DeepMind developed an AI that can scan images of retinas.
Detecting eye diseases.
Right. Detecting early signs of more than 50 eye diseases, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma with greater accuracy than human experts in some metrics. This kind of technology holds immense promise for early diagnosis.
Especially in underserved areas.
Potentially saving countless lives by catching diseases before they become debilitating. Huge potential.
However, and this is a truly crucial point that highlights the augmentation rather than full replacement narrative, while these tools can indeed outperform human doctors in specific diagnostic tasks.
Like pattern recognition in images.
Particularly pattern recognition and imaging, yes. They still rely heavily on human oversight.
The doctor is still essential.
An AI diagnostic tool can identify a suspicious pattern, flag a potential disease, but it's the human doctor who interprets that finding within the broader context of the patient's medical history, who communicates the diagnosis with empathy.
Who formulates the treatment plan.
Exactly. Formulates a holistic treatment plan considering the patient's lifestyle, preferences, handles the ethical complexities of care. What's truly fascinating here is this critical balance between AI capability and human responsibility, especially in life-sensitive fields.
AI is a powerful tool, not a replacement.
It's about how AI can profoundly enhance human expertise and judgment, providing powerful new tools rather than entirely usurping the irreplaceable human element of care.
It's clear that AI's impact isn't monolithic, is it? It's profoundly shaped by the cultural lens through which it's viewed and integrated. Let's start with how AI is typically perceived, discussed in Western nations. US, much of Europe.
Okay, the Western perspective.
Here, the dominant narrative generally frames AI as primarily an economic opportunity, a productivity enhancer.
Focus on innovation, competition.
Strong emphasis on innovation as a competitive advantage, market competition driving progress, potential for new wealth creation through tech startups, efficiency gains. The conversation often revolves around GDP growth, global leadership in AI, the individual benefits of adopting new tech.
And this perspective in Western nations is deeply rooted in an individualism-driven narrative, would you say?
How so?
The prevailing sentiment often translates to a kind of societal mantra: upskill or be left behind. This reflects a strong cultural emphasis on personal responsibility in adapting to technological change.
Sink or swim.
Individuals are expected to take the initiative, acquire new skills, embrace new tools, reinvent themselves to remain relevant. While this approach certainly fosters innovation and a dynamic workforce,
There's a downside.
it can place an incredibly heavy burden on individuals, leading to significant anxiety and stress if adequate societal support structures, accessible retraining, robust social safety nets aren't in place to help those who struggle to keep pace. It puts the onus squarely on the individual.
Now, contrast that with a profoundly different cultural perspective we see in East Asia, particularly in countries like Japan and South Korea.
A very different approach.
There, AI is often embraced not primarily as a threat to jobs or a purely economic engine, but much more broadly as a cultural coworker, even a companion.
Cultural coworker.
That's intriguing.
It's integrated into society with a much higher degree of acceptance, often seen as a helper, an extender of human capabilities, a benign presence in daily life. You see this manifest in everyday applications.
Like robotics in care. Exactly. Robotics, for instance, are widely integrated into elderly care and public service in these countries, helping with everything from daily tasks, mobility assistance for a rapidly aging population, to providing companionship, often in forms that might seem less common or even unsettling in the West.
And this cultural acceptance is truly fascinating. It stems from deeper philosophical roots, doesn't it?
Like Shintoism.
Robotics integration is often inspired by deeply rooted cultural beliefs, such as Shinto animism in Japan, which holds that inanimate objects, including machines, can possess a kami or spirit.
So machines aren't just tools.
This perspective allows for a natural inclination to view robots and AI not as purely utilitarian tools, but as entities with whom one can coexist, even form a respectful relationship. If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Culture shapes reception.
it profoundly demonstrates how deep cultural beliefs can fundamentally alter the reception and integration of advanced technology, fostering an environment where AI is welcomed as a partner, a helpful presence, or even a respectful entity, rather than feared as a competitor or a soulless automaton.
Finally, let's consider the Global South, where the reception and impact of AI present a particularly complex dual nature. It's perceived simultaneously as both immense hope and significant threat.
Hope and threat, side by side.
On one hand, AI offers incredible potential to leapfrog traditional infrastructure challenges, accelerate development in ways previously unimaginable.
Like in healthcare or education.
For instance, in vast countries like India, telemedicine powered by AI is making expert healthcare accessible in remote villages where physical access to doctors is scarce. AI-driven educational platforms can deliver personalized learning to millions, overcoming historical barriers. It truly holds the promise of accelerating development.
That potential for progress is immense, truly transformative, but it comes with significant, often unseen risks. There's a pervasive danger of what's known as neo-colonial data extraction.
Neo-colonial data extraction sounds ominous.
Think of it like this. Your data, your insights, your digital life in the Global South, photos, language, cultural expressions become the raw material, the digital gold.
Extracted by foreign companies.
Extracted by large foreign tech companies to build their powerful AI models. These models are then often commercialized globally, but the wealth and control stay largely in the hands of those far away, replicating old colonial patterns in a new digital form.
Can you give an example?
AI models used for diagnosing diseases or analyzing agricultural yields might be trained on data from specific regions in the Global South, but the intellectual property, the profits, accrue to companies in the West or developed nations. This dynamic risks perpetuating historical patterns of exploitation,
Resources extracted for distant powers.
raising an important question. How can global AI development be structured to be more equitable, ensuring benefits are shared fairly across all nations, rather than consolidating wealth and power in the hands of a privileged few? Big challenge.
So after this comprehensive overview, history, impact, global reception, let's take a critical look at the overall landscape, weighing the compelling strengths, the inherent weaknesses, and some of the more significant long-term dangers identified in our sources.
The balance sheet, as it were.
First, the compelling advantages. AI offers incredible leaps in efficiency and safety.
Taking over the dirty, dull, dangerous jobs.
It can automate dangerous, dirty, or tedious tasks humans shouldn't have to do: hazardous industrial work, repetitive data entry. This not only frees up human labor for more meaningful work, but also significantly reduces workplace injuries, human error.
And beyond safety, it's an innovation catalyst, right?
Hugely so. It has the power to enable entirely new industries we can barely imagine today, much like the internet did. Think personalized medicine, advanced climate modeling, new forms of entertainment.
Accelerating research across the board.
From drug discovery, rapidly analyzing vast chemical libraries, to complex material science, processing astronomical amounts of data, identifying patterns far beyond human capabilities. Furthermore, AI offers immense potential for accessibility.
Democratizing knowledge.
Consider how AI tutors can democratize high-quality knowledge, providing personalized education to anyone with a device, regardless of location or economic status. Or how AI services can make information more widely available, breaking down language barriers, providing specialized assistance. These are tangible, truly transformative, positive potentials.
But of course, no powerful technology is without its significant inherent flaws and challenges in implementation. One of the most critical, as we touched upon, is bias and ethics.
The baked-in prejudice problem.
As AI systems are trained on massive data sets, if that data contains historical or societal biases, the algorithms will learn and perpetuate those biases, often inadvertently reinforcing discrimination.
Like in judicial sentencing or loan applications.
An AI used in judicial sentencing might, based on historical data, recommend harsher sentences for certain demographics, mirroring past human prejudices. Or an AI loan system could disproportionately reject applicants from specific neighborhoods due to ingrained biases in past lending patterns. It's a huge ethical minefield requiring constant vigilance.
And the practical implications are significant. We also face the profound challenge of skill gaps.
The reskilling challenge.
We talk passionately about reskilling, but the reality is not everyone can acquire new in-demand skills quickly or effectively enough to keep pace. Factors like age, access to education, financial stability, even individual learning aptitudes create significant barriers.
Leaving people behind.
Creates a growing segment of the workforce that risks being left behind, unable to participate, leading to long-term unemployment and economic stagnation for large populations. Furthermore, the constant pressure to adapt or die,
The anxiety factor.
the rapid pace of change, the pervasive fear of obsolescence are already having a tangible impact on mental health, fostering widespread anxiety, stress, burnout among workers who feel they're in a constant, exhausting race against the machine, or grappling with the feeling their skills might become irrelevant overnight. These are real societal and individual costs.
And finally, we must confront the more critical, long-term dangers identified in our sources. Dangers that go beyond individual impact and threaten the very fabric of society. One significant threat: the pervasive rise of surveillance capitalism.
Big Brother gets an AI upgrade.
AI empowers employers to engage in increasingly invasive monitoring, tracking productivity, behavior, even emotional states in real time. AI analyzing your tone of voice, tracking facial expressions, monitoring time away from your desk.
Loss of privacy, autonomy.
Profound loss. Transforming workplaces into digital panopticons, potentially creating a climate of fear and control. Beyond individual privacy, there's the risk of AI monocultures.
Monocultures, like everyone thinking the same.
If the development and control of powerful AI become dominated by a few large firms or nations, it could lead to economic and cultural homogenization, drastically reducing diversity in products, services, even thought. Imagine a world where all creative content, news, entertainment is generated or filtered through a few dominant AI models,
Stifling conformity.
leading to stifling conformity, a lack of genuine innovation, or diverse perspectives. This concentration of power could be immense, controlling not just what we buy, but what we see, hear, think, and perhaps the most pressing societal danger:
Mass unemployment.
the potential for mass displacement without adequate safety nets. If AI automates jobs on a large scale, without corresponding proactive policies for wealth redistribution, progressive taxation, UBI, robust retraining programs, it could lead to widespread socio-political unrest,
Massive inequality, instability.
challenging the very stability of our social fabric. This raises an important question. Are we truly prepared for these potential future scenarios? Are we proactively designing the policies and societal choices needed today to mitigate these profound risks?
So after this comprehensive deep dive, where does this leave us? What does all this mean for you, the listener, and for all of us as we stand at this incredible pivotal moment in history?
It feels like a threshold.
We are truly living at the threshold of a techno-cultural metamorphosis. Artificial intelligence, once the stuff of distant science fiction, is now actively rewiring our work, redefining our very identities, reshaping our aspirations for the future.
It's here. It's real.
The simple question we started with, will AI steal your job? It's evolving, deepening. The real question, the far more profound question, isn't just about job security, is it? It's what does work mean in a post-AI world, and what does it mean to be human within it?
Precisely. As machines increasingly take over tasks that were once exclusively human, from complex calculations to even creative endeavors, we are called upon, perhaps forced, to reclaim and fundamentally re-emphasize what makes us uniquely human.
Our empathy, creativity.
Our capacity for profound empathy, our boundless, truly original creativity, our nuanced ethical judgment, and perhaps most profoundly, our innate ability to find meaning and purpose even amidst deep uncertainty and rapid change.
The future isn't written yet.
The future isn't predetermined. It is being written by our choices right now. Whether this profound technological shift becomes a renaissance of human potential, a new era where we are free from drudgery to pursue higher callings, cultivate deeper human connections, or a dystopia of redundancy,
Where many are left behind.
where vast segments of humanity are deemed obsolete, depends entirely on the collective decisions we make today. It hinges on how we choose to design our policies, how we envision the equitable redistribution of wealth in a machine-driven economy, and how we reimagine education to prepare future generations for a world fundamentally altered by AI.
It's a challenging thought, isn't it? But also an incredibly exciting and maybe empowering one. Can we collectively create and govern AI that truly respects human labor and dignity, not just profit margins?
A fundamental ethical choice.
Will societies begin to fundamentally decouple identity from work, allowing us to find purpose and worth beyond our paychecks? Is that even possible?
It's a huge cultural shift.
And is universal basic income, UBI, an inevitable solution to potential widespread job displacement? Or is it just a temporary band-aid for a much deeper systemic issue that requires a complete societal redesign?
The big UBI debate.
Most importantly, perhaps, how do we redefine success and value in a world where machines can outperform us in so many previously cherished ways?
What does it mean to succeed when a machine does it faster, better?
These aren't easy questions. There are certainly no simple answers, but they are the essential questions that we as a society must grapple with, debate, and ultimately answer in the coming years.
The conversation needs to happen now.
We invite you, our listeners, to reflect on your own answers, talk about these ideas with those around you, and continue your own deep dive into these crucial, defining questions of our time.